He was always there, but no one saw him. He had ideas, but no one listened, until one simple moment changed his life forever. Stay with me until the end of this story, because what he discovered can change the way you see your own value. The boy who was always ignored. Everyone ignored him. In school, no one listened. At home, no one noticed. Even when he tried to speak, people talked over him. After some time, he stopped trying. His name was Ryan. Ryan was a quiet boy, not because he wanted to be quiet, but because life slowly made him that way. In class, Ryan always sat at the back, not because he liked it there, but because no one invited him to sit anywhere else. When the teacher asked questions, Ryan sometimes knew the answers. He raised his hand, waited, hoped. But the teacher called on other students, again and again. Slowly, Ryan stopped raising his hand. During group work, something similar happened. Students formed teams quickly. They laughed, they talked, they worked together. Ryan stood there, alone, waiting, hoping someone would say, "Hey, come join us." But no one did. Finally, he joined the last group, not because they wanted him, but because they had no choice. Even then, no one asked for his opinion. No one listened to his ideas. He was there, but he felt invisible. At home, things were not very different. His parents were busy. His older brother was more confident, more successful. Whenever guests came to the house, they praised his brother. Such a smart boy, so talented. Ryan stood quietly in the corner. No one asked about him. No one noticed him. At night, Ryan often lay in his bed, staring at the ceiling, thinking, "Maybe I am not important. Maybe I don't matter." These thoughts became stronger each day. And slowly, Ryan stopped trying. He stopped raising his hand in class. He stopped sharing his ideas. He stopped speaking unless someone asked him something. He became silent, not because he had nothing to say, but because he believed no one wanted to hear him. One day, something unexpected happened. A new teacher joined the school. Her name was Miss Carter. She was different. On her first day, she looked at every student carefully. Not just the loud ones, not just the popular ones. Everyone. Her eyes stopped at Ryan. She noticed something. A boy who was present but not seen. During the lesson, she asked a question. Ryan knew the answer, but he didn't raise his hand. He had learned not to. Miss Carter looked around the room. Then she said, "Ryan, what do you think?" Ryan was surprised. No one had asked him that in a long time. He hesitated. His voice was quiet, but he answered, and he was correct. Miss Carter smiled. "Very good," she said. That moment was small, but for Ryan, it felt different. For the first time in a long time, someone had listened. The next day, Miss Carter did something similar. She asked Ryan another question. Again, he answered. Again, he was right. Slowly, something began to change. Ryan started to pay more attention. He started to believe maybe his voice mattered. Miss Carter didn't treat him as invisible. She gave him small chances, small encouragement, small moments of recognition. And those small moments created a big change. Ryan began to try again. Not loudly, not suddenly, but quietly, step by step. He started studying more, reading more, learning more, not to prove others wrong, but to prove something to himself. I am not invisible.
I matter. Months passed. Ryan improved. His confidence grew. His knowledge increased. His mindset changed. People slowly started noticing him, not because he asked for attention, but because his work spoke for him. One day, there was an important school competition. Students had to present their ideas in front of everyone. Ryan felt nervous. The old Ryan would have avoided this, but this time he decided to try.
He prepared carefully, practiced again and again. On the day of the presentation, his hands were shaking, but he stood on the stage. He took a deep breath, and he began. At first, his voice was soft, but slowly it became stronger, clearer, confident. The room became quiet. Everyone was listening. The same people who once ignored him were now paying attention. When he finished, there was silence for a moment. Then, applause. Ryan stood there, surprised. For the first time, he was not invisible. He was seen. After the event, many students came to him. "You did great. That was amazing." Ryan smiled. But deep inside, he knew something important. He didn't change because others noticed him. Others noticed him because he changed himself. That night, Ryan sat quietly in his room. But this time, he wasn't thinking negative thoughts. He was smiling. He remembered the boy he used to be, the boy who felt invisible, and he realized something powerful. You don't need everyone to notice you to become someone important. Sometimes, all you need is one chance, one belief, and the courage to try again. Moral of the story: you may feel ignored, you may feel invisible, but that does not mean you are not important. Keep improving, keep learning, keep moving forward. One day, the world will notice you, but more importantly, you will finally notice yourself. So remember, just because people ignore you doesn't mean you are not important. Sometimes the world doesn't see your value until you start believing in yourself. If you enjoy learning English through inspiring stories like this, subscribe to Fluent Storyland and share this story with someone who needs to hear this today.